It's Ash from SuperVideos back for another video for The Walking Dead, The Ones Who Live. We finally have the first official trailer for the series, and it is absolutely packed with insane reveals that will be breaking down some interesting callbacks and things of that nature as well. There's a lot to uncover, so let's waste no more time and get into it after a quick intro. Alright, as always, before we start, smash the like button, subscribe to join our community, and press the bell to be notified when I upload on the channel. With that, let's jump right into it. So the trailer starts with this shot of Michonne scavenging, reaching out for her katana. In the voiceover, she says, "I'm looking for him," referring to Rick. We see another shot. This time she's with some survivors, most likely connected to the group she saw in her final episode on the main series. And it seems like she notices something about an abandoned RV or bus and decides to investigate. Then we see a quick shot of the abandoned cruise ship, which we saw in one of the teasers. It has the banner Safe Harbor. In the voiceover, Michonne says, "I'm gonna head north," which is where CRM's main base is. So she definitely has some knowledge of where Rick might be. She likely got this info through people she has found along the way, or just based on what she found when we saw her last in her final episode. We see Michonne again staring at the ship, and in the voiceover, one of the survivors she's with, named Elle, says, "You don't want to go north. Not now." A threat that we'll see in the next shot, right here. We see Michonne on a horse, surrounded by thousands and thousands of walkers. This actually links directly to the scene she cameoed in on her final episode on the show. It's the same horde by the looks of it, as you can see here. We see Michonne loading up what appears to be like a grenade launcher, which is freaking awesome. She launches it towards the horde, and that's badass. I love this shot in the trailer that we see right here. Then we switch to Rick. He's sitting at a bench, most likely at the Civic Republic or CR. This might be early days for him there, and based on the skyline, it's the same as the city that we saw when he cameoed in the finale of the main show. So as you can see, the skyline matches it, but the only difference is that when we saw this city in the post-credit scene, in the finale, it was destroyed. So if this is the CR, then it was destroyed by someone. Maybe Rick was involved, and if that's the case, then that puts a lot of things into perspective as far as why the CRM, particularly Beale, hates him so much. And of course, this is the skyline of Philly or Philadelphia, which is super cool. If you go back and forth, you can match the buildings to the buildings that we saw in the other skyline. So that's how we know that it is Philly. But in the voiceovers, throughout the next little bit, Rick says, "My life is my choice. My daughter is my choice. My life is my choice," which is super awesome and interesting. To me, it sounds like he's speaking with someone in charge, likely Beale himself, and it looks like Rick is pleading to be let out, to be let free, to go back to his family, but they are not letting him do that. We see Rick at the CRM clearing facility, which we've seen repeatedly. He's killing walkers for the CRM. Of course, this is the same role that Silas had at some point in the Walking Dead World Beyond before becoming a soldier for them. We have more shots of Rick clearing walkers. We have Rick here covered in blood, all badass. This is likely after a hard day's work, killing walkers, and of course it mirrors how he was after he ripped Joe's throat out, which is cool. It was that scene where he told Daryl, "You're my brother," so this is kind of cool. We have more shots of the clearing scene right here. Again, not really much to break down. It's just Rick killing walkers and working for the CRM as a worker, really. And obviously, like I said, the voiceover is he's pleading to be let free, basically. And I'm assuming that this connects to another scene that we're going to see in a little bit where we actually see Rick and Beale together. And then we have this shot of Michonne talking to Elle, who we'll see in a little bit. She says, "It's been so long," referring to how long she's either been looking for Rick or hasn't seen him. Then we have L saying, your phone, you know what it says, the Japanese. And of course, this is the same phone that Michonne found in the backpack that Rick threw to the boat in the post-credit scene of the finale. The one that had Michonne and Judith's carving on it. L says, it says, believe a little bit longer. Self-explanatory, not much to break down here. And then Michonne has this epiphany or realization that's probably going to push her to continue the search for Rick. Then we have Rick looking at another Michonne phone carving. It's not the exact same one. It's a different one. He sees his own face in the reflection. But we have in the voiceover Thorn, who's a CRM soldier, who we've seen before in the teaser, saying, thank you, Grimes. To which Rick replies with, why? And then she says, you showed me I can't get away. This is actually important. She's wearing the same uniform as the one Rick was wearing. The ones that CRM labor workers wear. But in other shots that we'll see in a little bit, she has a CRM soldier uniform. So what I get from this is that Rick tried to escape, he failed, was brought back, and that's why Thorn is thanking him for being like bait, showing her that trying to escape doesn't work. Now we don't know how Thorn ended up here, whether she was promoted to being a soldier after this, like Silas, or whether she went backwards. I'm sure they're going to tell us at some point. And I'm sure that Rick will have a similar journey. Not necessarily sure about the direction, but obviously he's going to have that type of role transformation within the CRM. We have some CRM helicopters in remote forests in the north of the US, likely. We have this shot, which is not new, but a CRM advanced soldier named Okafor. In the voiceover, he says, this is the most powerful military on the planet, referring to the CRM. Of course, we now know that the CRM has 2,000 soldiers, which is epic, and Okafor is basically making that clear to someone, possibly Rick. Okafor appears to be a commander of some sort, a commander for one sector of CRM Special Forces, and it's funny because he has an accent that's similar to Daniel Salazar from Fear the Walking Dead, and at the beginning, prior to putting on the subtitles, which actually tells us the name, I thought that it was Daniel Salazar, and I was kind of confused, but this makes sense that it's not Danny Salazar, but just a new character. Then we have an awesome shot of a lot of CRM soldiers standing in a row, in line, in front of their leader, Major General Beale. Now you might notice a few interesting things here. There appears to be two types of soldiers. Ones that are more advanced, like special forces like we saw before, and ones that are wearing plain CRM uniforms, like we've seen already in the universe. Also, take a look at this soldier. It's actually Thorn, who we saw earlier. And we can see from this shot that was in one of the teasers, she is wearing a CRM soldier uniform at this point. Obviously, something happened before or after this, which landed her in the clearing facility. But also, who is this guy right here? I could be totally off, but this could be Rick. This is obviously pretty big. Rick Grimes as a CRM soldier. Pretty epic. Let's see how it goes. I'm sure he has some trick hidden up his sleeve, so he might work his way into the CR military, but he's not gonna stay there, or he's gonna try to sabotage them in some way, shape, or form. And then we have this shot of some special CRM forces at some gates, the CRM truck in the background. In the voiceover, we have Major General Beale talking to Rick. He says, I'm just gonna ask you a question, Grimes, and look into your eyes. And this seems like he's testing Rick's response or something. It's very Negan-esque, remember, who are you, that whole thing. So it made me think about that a little bit, so I wonder if there's any sort of callbacks like that. But we have this cool scene with Beale and Rick together. Beale says, why are you here? Do you want to kill? And we get a quick shot of Rick literally killing walkers, the flaming walker, which we're gonna see in a little bit. But Beale continues, or do you want to die? Rick is holding a CRM bullet, thinking about something or contemplating about a decision he's about to make. So It's like Rick is given a choice by Beale of being someone who's helping CRM and killing the enemies, or being a bait for the CRM or a test subject. That whole A or B concept that we've talked about previously. And then Rick says, "Look at my eyes, sir. You tell me." And this is freaking epic. I take this as either he's asking Beale to say what he thinks Rick's response is going to be, or it could be that Rick is literally reverberating the question back to Beale, as if to say, "I'm not some guy you can push around. I ask the questions here," sort of thing. He's obviously being given a choice, though, and has to decide his fate. And then he gives Beale this side death stare, which I absolutely loved. Another shot of Rick, likely at the clearing facility. Then we get to the juicy parts. We have a shot of some helicopters napalming a city, and we actually see that it's Atlanta, which is definitely weird. This is another shot of that bombardment, Operation Cobalt, if you remember. This one is literally a copy of the scene from the main series, though, where Lori and Shane watch Atlanta being napalmed, right here. See, same exact shot, which is odd. Of course, some people may take this as meaning that CRM was involved in the bombardment of Atlanta, ordered by the military, meaning that they existed all the way back then. In that case, the helicopter that Rick saw in the pilot was definitely a CRM pilot. However, I don't think that that's logical. I think that there's two possibilities. More likely is that we'll see a flashback, but there could be a CRM connection, and that connection is actually a bit more interesting than the CRM being involved, the way you think. It could be that Major General Beale, who we know served in the US Army, was part of Operation Cobalt. That could be an interesting and logical twist to have things go full circle in a way, back to the beginning, but also keep it logical and not too much of a stretch. We have a shot of a helicopter crash knocking out some CRM soldiers here. We have Michonne in a corridor with a flashlight, scavenging or looking for clues for Rick. We have Michonne killing off walkers with her katana. We have more Michonne scavenging a tent of some sort. We have a quick shot of Rick and Beale talking, and a CRM Jeep in the background. We have, again, Michonne scavenging what appears to be like a zoo or something. We see these two new characters who are actually with Michonne. If you remember, these are the people who found Michonne in her final episode on the main show prior to her exit. We have the flaming zombie that I mentioned, and this one actually attacks Rick. There could be multiple flaming walkers, but we know that one attacks Rick specifically and gets smacked in the head with a hammer or something. We have this shot of Michonne getting out of a truck, and then she starts killing walkers. I'm assuming she was asleep in the truck. The walkers came. She was forced to get out to clear the area. We have Jadis here. She's pointing her gun at someone. No idea who though. But of course this connects to the first look image of her. And what we notice is that she's not wearing the CRM uniform like she was wearing in World Beyond. So this is before she climbed the ranks of the CR military. We have this quick shot of Michonne. We have another quick shot of Elle. We have a soldier or commander, Walker, being burned, which is interesting. Not sure if this is a CRM soldier. I don't see a CRM emblem, so it could be a flashback or something, similar to the one that we saw in the Daryl Dixon spinoff, which showed us the World War, so it could be something similar. We have a shot of Rick being attacked by that flaming walker. We have Michonne yelling, "Get out," as if the place is about to be bombed or something. This could connect to something that we'll see in a little bit. And then we have this epic, awesome shot of a CRM helicopter detonating a bomb, shooting the middle of an apartment building. It's freaking epic. Obviously, this could be the CR, which means some serious shit is going down at the CR, maybe a coup attempt or something. This shot is actually very World War Z-esque, which is pretty awesome. We have someone looking at their rear view mirror, watching smoke go off, maybe some sort of explosion as well. It's the same building though. We have this cool shot of what appears to be a city or town being sprayed with some chemical from an oncoming jet plane. And of course, Michonne is running away with others with her. Not sure if they are CR residents or if this is CR or anything like that, or if these are the people that were with her and this is just somewhere else. And this group that attacks is not the CRM. And the trailer ends with this cryptic shot of a CRM pilot. By the looks of it, we see the helicopter in the background, but they have their helmet over their face so we don't see who they are. It could be Rick himself, it could be someone else, hard to say, obviously. Possibly someone we know though, that's why they're keeping it hidden. I'm sure that the theories are gonna pour in, they're gonna go wild, like this is Morgan, Heath, Isabel, and so on. Now, one thing that we know for sure is that this could be the exact same pilot that captured Rick in the post-credit scene of the series finale. I'll likely do a separate video on this topic later on, but my first thoughts are that it's Isabel from Fear the Walking Dead. I could be wrong, but that's the only pilot that we know. Or it could be Rick impersonating a CRM pilot to sabotage a mission or something. And the final shot is the title card, a flaming Walking Dead The Ones Who Live title. Pretty awesome. February 25th, can't get here soon enough. The trailer was awesome, lots of cool details and reveals, and it's going to be awesome to finally see the series. It's been a long time coming. This was first teased like 3 years ago now, or 4 years now, or something. So it's great to finally have the trailer and to be finally getting the series. But it's been a long video, so I'll stop it right here. You know what to do. I'm not gonna make this video longer by telling you like, subscribe, and press the bell, all of that good stuff. But that's pretty much it. Catch you on the next one.